Alright, we're back for another themed review, and we've got the Velocitron villains today up in his house. Talking about Cybertron, Ransack, and Crumplezone today. Now, I'm really excited that I have these guys, because I actually just recently picked these up, and they're going to be a part of the show that I'm working on, which I'm working on it. But enough about that crap, let's talk about the guy whose name comes first. Little Ransack here is basically the brains of the operation, but he doesn't seem that much smarter than Crumplezone. They're just comic relief characters from the planet Velocitron, and really I'm glad to have these with me. Ransack is about the size of a modern class Legends class figure from these days, and me, being the person who's in love with modern Legends class figures, I'm glad to have this on my shelf. I'm not a big fan of these wheels on each side of the legs, but it was in the show, so there's nothing really I can do about that. And his legs and feet being the way they are kind of makes it a little hard to stand, but when it's right, it's right. Another thing that kind of annoys me is that this chest flap kind of doesn't peg it anywhere, but it'll be fine. Just don't bump it. Ransack also comes with a gun, which is quintessential for the vehicle mode, so you can't actually get rid of this thing. And when you plug it into his hand, it looks big and bulky, and it's actually pointing towards him. So now is a great time to talk about how it needs a cyber key. And you can use any cyber key with any Transformer Cybertron figure, but why would you deviate from what's needed? So you just stick the cyber key right in this slot and bam! Got a big old gun that can actually shoot forward. I mean, it's not that bad. I kind of like characters that have big guns, but it's like, I don't know. Something seems off. I still like him though. Ransack's a good boy. So why don't we squish him on down to his vehicle mode? So we turned into the little two-wheeled vehicle that he did in the show, and yeah, it's pretty much all you can say about it. It's show accurate, and they made it into a toy. There's not really a whole lot to say about it, except that it's kind of long, surprisingly, and like, some things aren't exactly as straight as I would like them to be, and I keep kind of fiddling with them to kind of straighten them out, but it never goes. But it's fine, it's Ransack, it looks fine. You can still use the cyber key, but these point backwards now. In the show, these were used as boosters, so I guess that works, but just keep them forward so we can fire straight. Moving on from Ransack, we got Crumplezone. Crumplezone is a big green dude from a different world with a small best friend, and I really enjoyed watching him in Prime. I mean Cybertron. Something about this guy that I'm really happy about that not a lot of reviewers have touched on from what I've seen, he actually has an opening jaw. I'm really happy about that.
You do the thinking, Ransack. I just smash stuff.
Like figures that have predominantly large jaws on TV shows, I would think that they need toys that actually have opening mouths. So I'm really happy that he got one here. He has some missing paint apps here and there all over him that he kind of had in the show, but I can go back over after this video is done and do those myself, which I might. Knowing me, I probably will. Again, you can use the cyber key right back here, and when you shove it right up in there, you get the giant cannons over his shoulders like he had in the show. And these are actually firing missiles, which is pretty cool. One thing about Crumplezone that does kind of bug me, but he also had these, had these in the show, is that these flaps on the back of his arms just kind of flop everywhere. And they don't really fold in at all. They're meant for vehicle mode, and they kind of flop around there too. So I'm not sure if it's just a case of my copy because I bought it used on eBay. So can anyone tell me if these are supposed to lock in at all, or do these just flop around? I don't know, I guess it doesn't bother me that much. But in short, Crumplezone is good. On to the vehicle mode. So here we are with Crumplezone's big tricycle mode that he drove around in Velocitron with, and it honestly looks really cool. I don't know why, I just dig this so much. His transformation is fun, he's still got the big things on the back, which you can still use in vehicle mode. Which this looks silly, but at least it makes a little bit more sense than Ransack's. One thing I should have mentioned in Crumplezone's robot mode is he's actually supposed to have lights and sounds when you insert the cyber key, but the batteries on this one are dead, so if you want to know what the lights and sounds are, you can go look them up, because I don't have any LR44 batteries or whatever kind of batteries it takes. And he even has some detailing inside the cockpit there. That's so unnecessary. Who's going to sit in there? In short, this guy is awesome. Both these guys are awesome. And if you're able to, you should definitely pick them up for a decent price. So that's been the review of these guys. I've been 01 Transfan D #1, and I'll talk to you all next time. Take care.